gentlemen, welcome to the Source Material Comics Podcast. We're diving right into the middle of our DC trilogy. Right here, it's me, Jesse Starcher, and that over there is Mark Radulich. Mark Radulich, we're going to be talking some Supergirl tonight. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm going to show them how it's done, son.
Well, we go back to 2006, and we could find Supergirl Power. Actually, is it called Power or Girl Power?
No, it's just Power, but It's actually, when it was in individual floppy form, it was Supergirl number 1 through 5, copyright 2005.
Did they have issue 0 in there? I assume not, then. It didn't list the issue 0.
Superman, Batman number 19.
Okay. Supergirl volume 5 number 0 is what they have here, but I think it is actually that one that you're talking about there. We'll find out. So this is June of 2006, according to what I had seen, written by Jeph Loeb and Ian Churchill and Norm Rapmund. Ian Churchill I've heard of. Norm Rapmund I remember from back in my another Image Comics guy that I remember. Both of those guys, great art. And Jeph Loeb, he's responsible for the color books for like Captain America White, I think is what it is, Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray. I think he's also involved in Dark Victory, Batman Dark Victory and Long Halloween. I'll have to double check that and make sure. But that's Jeph Loeb. He's a very, very good writer. So he takes the helm of Supergirl, launching this series back in 2006. How about you tell me your history with Supergirl?
You know, I've always liked the character. We reviewed the Heather Slater movie, Helen Slater movie for an on trial back many years ago. I dedicated an entire month to the women of DC Comics or some shit. It was around the time I think Wonder Woman came out, and then we reviewed whatever season of Supergirl with Melissa Benoist. And so I said one week we dedicated to Wonder Woman, another week we dedicated to Supergirl. So we did a comic, we did the show, and then we did the movie. I've always liked the character. I thought the character was an interesting take on Superman because she wasn't just gender swapped. She was the older cousin of Kal-El, and she was lost in space for a while. And when she showed up, her cousin was already a full-grown man and had been Superman. There was this really interesting dynamic between Kal-El and Kara, where she was supposed to be the protector and kind of the older sibling relationship dynamic. And she gets to Earth, and now Kal-El has to take care of her. Mm-hmm. She has to kind of learn Earth, and she's on a curve because she kind of has to learn it fast. Whether or not she's always been more powerful than Kal-El, I don't know if she was always written that way, because I'm sure the early iterations of her were she was just, girl Superman. But over the years, they've given her a lot of agency. They've given her a lot of her own stuff. And then I've read the New 52 version of her, and I've read different takes on the character. There was the book that Alexis and I do not remember the name of it now, but the book that Alexis and I did, there was a lot of her growing up as an adopted daughter of this Midwestern couple, and her trying to figure things out. And she has I think they did this in the show too, where she grew up alongside this other teenage girl. They grew up as sisters, and the dynamic between the two of them was you're perfect Supergirl, and I'm just ordinary me. And she's like, yeah, but you're from here. You're normal. Yeah. I'm a goddamn circus freak. So they both they were both having issues there, and they sort of found solace in each other and tried to understand each other a little bit better. I loved the television show. It wasn't always spectacular, but for the most part, I know everyone kind of gives the CW stuff a hard time. That, the first season that aired on, I think it was CBS, and then they moved it to the CW. I always enjoyed the Supergirl show. I don't remember how it ends. I know because of COVID, I fell off of a lot of stuff, but going right up until 2020, I watched Supergirl with pretty serious regularity. I think the quintessential Supergirl on film in real life is Melissa Benoist. I think she nailed that character. I wish they had used her in the Flash movie instead of the garbage that we got. So anyway, so to answer your question, I like the idea of essentially this angsty teenager I think they do a better job with her than they do the Connor kid that is Superboy. The one that's the Teen Titans version of Superboy where he's in the jeans t-shirt.
Yeah, Connor Kent, yeah.
I think they do a better job with the idea of I'm just a girl trying to figure out how to be an Earthling with her than they did with Connor. So when I saw Supergirl Power at the Ollies, I grabbed it, one, because I'm a big fan of the Supergirl character, but also I love this cover, and I wasn't sure if this was like a Zod version of Supergirl or what the hell was going on here.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
they have drawn her waist any thinner.
Oh, Ian Churchill. The trade that I was looking at had some variant covers by Michael Turner, who unfortunately passed away, but is a brilliant, brilliant artist. I mean, Ian Churchill does a fantastic job in this book. His art is superb. But what's crazy is looking at the alternate covers and how much you can tell Michael Turner is like so much better. And you're like, I mean, I don't know how you go up from Ian Churchill, but it's done with Michael Turner's variant covers. But anyway, you mentioned the movie, and I remember that being a thing that I may have caught a long time ago.
Once again, poor Peter O'Toole.
It's been forever if I had seen that, and it was probably on USA or something like that.
It is aged like milk, let me tell you.
My goodness. I remember her in the Reign of the Superman or the Death of Superman. Actually, I remember her in the Death of Superman, but we find out like she's not a clone. It's weird. Her continuity at that point in time was weird. I mean, in Crisis, she had died. There's a famous cover of one of the Crisis on Infinite Earths where Supergirl had gotten killed during one of the battles, and Superman is agonizingly holding her dead body on the front cover. It's great cover, but I've never really read a whole lot with her in it. You talked about the show that came on. The only time I ever watched anything with her in it was when she guest starred in the big crossovers with the Flash.
Okay. You didn't watch the show, huh?
I did not. And I remember you saying it was good before. One of those things where I didn't have time. Is it still on? It's done, or is it done?
Oh no,
it's been canceled.
It's
okay.
Been
yeah. Well, the way things start out here in this book, it's kind of like, we're getting another bit of a reset with Kara, because this definitely feels like this is even though this is 2006, she's reappeared or something new has happened to where she has showed up in DC continuity again. And I think that's why when you get to the beginning of this book, Batman and Superman are keeping a very close eye on her. Now, as to whether she is the actual Supergirl, I don't know if they ever come to a conclusion that she is or not. You can pretty much assume that this book is telling you that it definitely is. And I want to talk about another point here as we go through the synopsis of why this even gets more complicated. If you're ready for the synopsis, I want to jump into it.
Yo, hit me one time.
Thanks again, Chat GPT. I had a worry when it come to this synopsis because you and I both know that as you're reading this, there's two Supergirls that end up happening here. And I was like, oh shit, is Chat GPT going to even know the difference? Did I do a good enough job of explaining what the hell happened here?
And then Black Supergirl. Oh God.
Yeah, get ready. Because this is directly after, I chugged all my notes in there and I said, here you go, write a synopsis for me. So in the comic series, Supergirl finds herself targeted by Lex Luthor, who orchestrates a plot involving Air Force One to test her powers. That's what we have at the beginning. Lex Luthor's got his eye on Supergirl. She escapes Superman's watchful eye and heads to the Batcave, confronting Batman about their agreement not to interfere with her. So I assume this is all something that happened prior to.
Can you just imagine that? Like, Supergirl just rolls up in your house in Ohio.
Number one, my house is not like ultra top secret either. Right. But I imagine
like she hears this podcast and she's like, "Are you the motherfucker with the podcast? You don't be talking shit about me, all right? I'm Supergirl, motherfucker. Who the fuck are you?"
Right.
Can you imagine?
Be a little worried. Batman was a little worried, I'm sure.
Like, I'm Jesse Starcher. I walk with Jesus.
That's me. That's me.
She's like, all right then.
She confronts Batman about their agreement to not to interfere with her. Supergirl then leaves and heads into Gotham and teams up with Batgirl to stop Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn from committing a robbery. However, Batgirl turns out to be Clayface in disguise, and a battle ensues. Supergirl is able to defeat Clayface, and the reader learns that Lex was behind the criminals that attacked her. Later, Supergirl encounters Stargirl and witnesses the JSA fighting Solomon Grundy. Her main objective, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Did you know Solomon Grundy was born on a Monday?
I did, as a matter of fact. Her main objective is to find Power Girl and discuss a troubling matter. When Power Girl's powers malfunction during the battle, Supergirl steps in to protect her. It is discovered that Power Girl's powers act up when she is near Supergirl. Power Girl confesses feeling something dark inside
like magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Power Girl confesses feeling something dark inside her, and we're talking about Supergirl. Supergirl seeks a connection or someone to confide in. Supergirl heads to Smallville to find Superboy, but their meeting turns into a confrontation. Eventually, they reconcile and are interrupted by the Teen Titans, who attack Supergirl. Supergirl manages to defeat Wonder Girl and evade Raven before returning to Superboy. A near altercation between Superboy and Cyborg is interrupted by the arrival of Robin, Kid Flash, and Starfire. Starfire claims to have important answers for Supergirl. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor prepares a gauntlet filled with different colored kryptonite specifically to deal with Kryptonians. Now, I'm going to stop here real quick. There's a comment that's made by, I think it's Mr. Terrific, who ends up being the one to figure things out. Like, hey, guys, get away from each other. They're both two positive poles, like, in this universe. So it's almost like they're the same being occupying the same space. Now they're almost like the same person. And actually, Stargirl kind of says something about that. Supergirl has no idea. She just knows she needs to talk to Power Girl about something. As to why she even knows she needs to talk to her, I have no idea. There's a lot of assumptions throughout this book. You know, even though nothing really comes of it other than Power Girl just going, I sense something dark in you. And then she's like, we better not talk, or we better not be near each other, or I'm going to start laser beaming you again. That's kind of why that's happening. So left off, Lex Luthor preparing his gauntlet filled with different colored kryptonite. And he's got blue. This is so much an Infinity Gauntlet. It's crazy. He's got blue. He's got black. He's got green. You know, he's ready to go.
He's got
all right.
He has a pride of kryptonite.
Oh boy, yes he does. Supergirl begins training with the Outsiders, but is interrupted by Nightwing's arrival. She got some feelings for Nightwing, but Starfire reveals that Lex has been spying on Supergirl. So Supergirl immediately goes off to confront Lex, but he defeats her using the colored kryptonite in his gauntlet. Lex then exposes.
Colored, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Lex then exposes her to black kryptonite, causing a new Supergirl to separate. Black. I know. Separate from her body.
You can't just tell me to shut the fuck up. You really can.
It's coming. Don't worry. This dark Supergirl. You can't say dark. I'll just do the bit for you. That way, I don't have to fucking worry about you.
You're like this darky kryptonite. Oi, hey.
This dark Supergirl fights and defeats Lex, destroying his gauntlet and sending him to the moon. She encounters Green Lantern John Stewart, but escapes when Supergirl takes his ring and turns it against him. On Earth, the original Supergirl awakens with Starfire's help and heads to the moon to stop her dark counterpart from causing further harm to the Justice League. It is revealed that Kara's father wanted her to kill Superman upon reaching Earth, and the dark Supergirl embodies this desire. They engage in a brutal fight interrupted by the JLA, allowing the dark Supergirl to fly to Earth with the intent to kill Superman. In Gotham, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman await their arrival. The dark Supergirl changes costumes, confusing Superman, but he decides to subdue both of them. Wonder Woman's lasso binds the two, causing them to merge back into one being. Kara realizes she must accept the darkness within her to learn to control it while being watched by her friends. So there you go. That is thanks to ChatGPT for the synopsis. All right. I mean, so again, this is a Supergirl that is really new to our world.
Let's go on a tour of the DC Comics featuring tour guide Supergirl.
That is exactly right. That is what I put in here. This is like the DC Gauntlet. You know, she's like, okay, all right. Here's Superman and Batman. What a way to start. All right. And now let's go to the Teen Titans. And then we're going to go to the Outsiders. And actually, when you look at the titles of these, well, I should say these parts, like it says Girl Power, Part 1 of 5, JSA. Part 2, Teen Titans. Part 3, Outsiders. Part 4, JLA. And Part 5, Supergirls. So, you know, you're right. This is just like, let's go. She's got to go and meet everybody. And I think that works. In my opinion, it works for starting out somebody who's new to the DC continuity. You know, she's got to go around and actually learn and meet everybody. I think that works in a way, especially now that this is like a new Supergirl. She's never been here before. She's got to learn the ropes. She's got to learn the people. I think it does its job effectively.
So this is like a store of like all of these various characters in the DC fucking continuity. Instead of giving Supergirl her own adventure, it just kind of seemed like an excuse to buy our book. Buy our book. If you can see Supergirl interact with Superman, buy our book. You can see Supergirl interact with the Teen Titans. There is like a one-size floppy comic full of story here, and the rest is
she gets into a fight with everybody in every single comic.
It's just like a less cynical interpretation is Supergirl is an asshole and just fights with everyone and can't get along, like just tripping over her own dick, essentially. Like Supergirl, we need you to be a part of everything, and she's like, I can't, I'm dumb. You know, she's kind of insufferable in this book. Like, I've seen better interpretations of Supergirl where she's not a giant bag of dicks. Like, they're spying on her. They're spying on her because she's like not a good Supergirl just yet.
Right.
So it's like not a good Supergirl just yet. So Clark's like trying to like protect her. Like, hey, not only are you going to put yourself in danger and possibly get killed because you're not invulnerable, you're close, but shit does happen here. People get a hold of kryptonite, this and that. So you can get hurt. Things can happen to you. You can die if this gets out of control. But you're also a giant nuclear bomb.
Right. You're very, very powerful.
Yeah, you're going to hurt a lot of people if you don't know how to control your powers. You're going to hurt people I care about more than likely. So follow my gut. And like a typical asshole kid, I guess. She's just like, nah, it'll be fine. You know, like,
right.
Like, you know, a little critical drinker there for you. But she's just like, nah, I got this. I don't know, like, you have a teenage daughter. She turned 18 this year. I have a 12-year-old. She's not so much like this, but I imagine her asshole years are coming, where it's like, please don't run directly into a headlong oncoming car.
Right.
You're gonna get hurt. And the kid's like, I know better than you. Don't tell me what to do. Why won't you believe in me? Have faith in what I'm doing. And then proceeds to run into a headlong car, and now you're in the hospital going, why are you an idiot?
Right. I can see your argument there. Yeah. I really can. The only pass I give it is because it's like, actually, I don't even want to call it a pass. It's more like they are purposefully not revealing a whole lot throughout these 5-6 issues.
Yeah, I was like, the story is like paper thin.
It really is, and I think they're doing that because the intent is obviously they want people to continue to buy.
Can I give you another cynical take on this book?
Please. Mixing
her up with Power Girl felt like the Eric Bischoff era hot lesbian action from Raw. Like, the only thing
HLA.
The only thing anyone likes about Power Girl is tit window. Oh. And it was like, we need to get sales of this book up. Put tit windows in there.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it was so funny because...
Like, was there an editorial meeting where they were just like, okay, we're going to have them fight in the mud? No, you pervert. Just normal. Okay, Stargirl's
like, she's kind of like you, but with a bigger bust line. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Had to point that out. Right.
We didn't notice Power Girl's gigantic knockers. that have been historically a part of that character. By the way, can we just talk about that for a second? Like, the horny fucking loser concept of like the comic book artist, where it's like, we want to do another, because isn't Power Girl basically a Supergirl from another timeline?
I want to say that that's the case. I need to look that up, but I feel like that's why there's that problem. But go ahead.
Right. So it was like, okay, well, we need another Supergirl. Okay, so she'll have the same power as Superman, yeah? Okay, we're going to change the costume a little bit. Okay, what else do you want to change about her? I don't know, give her retard tits. Why? What was the point? Why does this, like, kick-ass fucking action superhero need gigantic fucking low-down, dirty, shame John Waters tits? Why, Jesse?
Well...
I need answers. You're the comic book guy, and Evan Bevins isn't here.
I'm not going to complain. Ian Churchill can draw Power Girl all he wants.
Jesse,
as a matter of fact,
Archer. That's your new name.
Oh, put it on the tombstone. I don't care. Dude, it's what brought me back into comics in the 90s was, you look, Captain America couldn't get away from having a huge chest. All right.
Comic Book Resources presents top 10 tits in comics. Number 1,
yes.
Power Girl. Number 2, Captain America.
That's right, damn it. But yeah, I think, a lot of it is definitely, it's a purposeful, keeping it vague and like just throw her against everybody, throw her against these guys, throw her against these guys. And then you're right. The more characters or the more guest appearances in a book, the higher it has a chance to sell. You can't fault them for that, but there's not much here. It's more like, okay, she's going to go out. She's uber powerful. And I think it's even said a couple times throughout the book that, my goodness, she may be more powerful than Superman.
Right. Because of course she is. She is.
Shades of Superman 3 with our dark Supergirl on this thing.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Now I want to see that. I wanted to see her do that scene, like including flicking the peanuts like bullets.
Black Krypton, I had no idea what it did. I didn't realize that it completely separated the body or the spirit or whatever the heck.
Boy, does it ever separate the body.
Jeez. But yeah, we get to see this dark version of Supergirl who shows up, and I mean, she's kind of ruthless, and she lets loose on Lex Luthor. She's up messing around with the JLA. Really, the only thing that it kind of showed you is that there is this bit of darkness to Supergirl. And again, at the end, like I said, she's got to learn to live with it. We have the 2 issues where she's fighting this thing. And then I don't know what kind of Amazonian magic had to happen in order for these two to fuse back together. I have no clue. It's not like they explain that either. But I will say, for one of my final notes on here is that, there's more questions than answers, I think, when you read these 6 issues, which is kind of rare. I know you've called yourself the king of the trade. You're the man who loves the trade. This was
Ollie,
not
Joe. Ollie's. Ollie's, Joe. Ollie's.
Yo. This was, you don't have a whole lot of answers as far as storyline goes. We get Lex Luthor again. A common theme through these 3 episodes that we're going to be recording.
We talked about that with the first book. Like, he cannot stand to have anyone more powerful than him. And then in walks fucking Superman, and he's like, this motherfucker's got to go. And could you imagine, like, your Lex Luthor is like, I have all of these plans to deal with Superman. If it kills me, I'm gonna get rid of this guy. And down comes another Superman.
Yeah.
That's worse than the first. Throwing shit in the air, like, I'm fucking done, man.
Right. I thought for a second there was a bit of a swerve in this book where I think it was right after she met up with the JSA and she just leaves and she's looking for a friend. And I think Lex even says that because he's watching everything somehow, and he says, she's looking for a friend. And I was waiting for like Lex Luthor to do some kind of like underhanded stuff by like becoming her friend and then turning her against Clark or something like that. But that's not the case. This motherfucker's putting on the Infinity Gauntlet and he's going to smack her down. Like, that's his plan. Like, there's no friendship that's going to be involved.
Shit out of her with it.
He just shows up. One of the variant covers is like, the word balloon is like, I plan to kill you. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, I guess he isn't going to be her friend. But yeah, that's not what happens in the book for sure. He definitely does not show up with intent of becoming her friend or giving her somebody to talk to. So other notes on this, you got anything else you'd like to say in closing about Supergirl power?
What did we learn from Supergirl power? She is too young and too headstrong and obnoxious to accept guidance from the people who have been dealing with Superman for years, and Superman himself, who has understood that, he moves in this direction, he jukes when he should have jives, and he's going to hurt millions of people. And then she has all of these experiences with these different superheroes. And at the end of the day, it was like Lex Luthor. It was like, inside of you is this darkness. I brought this darkness out. And then she conquers the darkness. But what has she learned? What is her arc here? Has she learned to accept the guidance of others? I don't think she has. And that's, I don't know. No. I don't know if I need to go back and read it again, but I never got the sense that she really learned her lesson.
No, to me, it feels like she's just like, well, they're going to watch me. And I do know I have the darkness is just a weird, vague way of saying it. The other Supergirl that comes out of there is motivated to kill Superman.
Her inner goth Supergirl.
Right. But yeah, she's
sad now. She's listening to The Cure,
But at the end, yeah, she's like, okay, well, I know you guys are going to watch me, but it's not like she's made any decision to be like more careful or anything like that.
Right.
It's just the fact that, okay, well, I am who I am, and that's all that I'll be. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
I'm sorry to Clark. Like, you're right, Clark. I should have listened to you. No, she's just like, I got this. It's fine. I beat Lex Luthor. I am all the Jedi. I solved all the problems.
I just looked at this, and this is the next issue is written by Greg Rucka. So I don't know if, this is definitely not a contained story. This feels like Jeph Loeb just coming in and saying, hey guys, I'm sprinkling a little bit in here, but the rest of this is just going to be fluff. And then you guys can take over from here on out and see what you're going to do with this. This series goes on for up to 60 some issues.
Jeph Loeb had one instruction: get people to buy the first 5 issues. And he was like, got it.
Give me Ian Churchill.
Roman Reigns is #1 in the Royal Rumble. Got it.
Second issue, boob window. All right.
Right.
We're printing money now.
Yes. Have boob window. Will sell books.
Anything else here, man? You ready to close it out?
No, let's take it home. Take me home, baby doll.
All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Source Material Comics podcast right here on the Source Material Comics feed. And if you get a chance, you can go back into the archive and listen to me and Mark talk about another trilogy of books. We've done metal. We've talked crime noir. We've talked Marvel comics. And oh my goodness, scores of other comics before that too. But yeah, hey, check out the Unspoken Issues podcast where I talk 90s comics.
Oh my God, who cares? Just give me the source material.
Dean and Derry. We got Chris Armstrong over there. We've got my good buddy Evan Bevins. And we talk Marvel Snap too. If you play the mobile game Marvel Snap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a podcast for you? We're going to be recording that tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So now, Mark Radulich, general plugs.
Well, if you tune into the W2M network on Saturdays at the end of the year, you'll hear more of our old syndicated source materials. W2Mnet.com is the landing site for all. Maybe someday Sean will put stuff on there, but right now it's pretty much all my stuff. Something old, something new, something blue. I'm down to 2 podcasts, maybe 3, depending on the week. Podcast a week, and all of that stuff is there. Plus all of our old content from Blog Talk Radio and all of the older shows that have been on this feed since 2017. I am at Mark Radulich on TikTok. We take the best 10 minutes, or the first 10 minutes, if you will, of any given podcast that I do in the year of our Lord 2023. And we take those 10 minutes and we throw them up on TikTok with a fancy title. I'm an essayist, Jesse. Did you know that?
Ooh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Did you know? Yes, I am a modern essayist, but my medium is the spoken word. Don't you understand?
Oh, okay. All right.
And so if you look at my TikTok, Jesse, TikTok, you don't stop.
Uh-huh.
You will see my audio essay. The written word is dead, Jesse Starcher. All that lives is audio and visual. We are the YouTube generation. We are TikTokers. Don't you understand? And all of my essays are on TikTok.
Okay.
You might see an audio essay of the genius and insanity of Inspector Deck in ODB. You were on that. Yes. You can see 97 TikToks on polyamory. Absolutely. At Mark Radulich on TikTok. Did I mention my TikTok?
You did. Okay. You did.
I also put up TikToks of me doing karaoke with women and concerts that I go to, and funny TikToks of my children.
Oh, fantastic.
Jonas doing reviews of roller coasters and shit at Universal Studio. All right. But seriously, YouTube, W2Mnet.com. We're on all your traditional audio formats, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We ain't on Stitch, I'll tell you that much. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we'll be there. And the same podcast in video form are on YouTube and Twitch. Sometimes, maybe.
Okay.
I'm done talking now.
This has been our discussion of Supergirl Power. That's Mark. I'm Jesse. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us. All of this would not be possible without W2Mnet.com, so make sure to seek them out for more podcasts. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please feel free to share, and we look forward to entertaining you again soon. Excuse me.
Fucking mumblepeg.
Oh, my.
No, people don't know what they're talking about. She's terrible.
Okay, then.
I'm the authority.
I picture you like in a dark closet, light off. All you can have is the light of the
hiding.
computer.
I'm presently hiding from polyamorous Nazis. Yo, Chuck, run a power move on them. Some hot podcast, kiddo. You used to chill out with Supergirl back in the day.
I call her Kara. You know, we're friends.
Yeah. You okay, dog? Just like write him a bunch of questions. Just ask ChatGPT what it thinks.
I have.
First you leave me for Evan Bevins, and now this, Jesse. You stink as a partner. Whoa, slow the fuck down, Melissa. Don't tell me what I am. I
remember.
I'm pro-robot body. I'm not pro-robot brain. You remember old Maglite dick? That's what I'm going for.
Maglite. 5D batteries.
Yes, sir.
That thing takes. Credit to Chat GPT. Here it is.
You don't know Chat GPT.
Chat. You don't know Chat.
That's what they call me in Treehouse, by the way. Black Kryptonite.
I'm sure that they do. I'm certain. What got cut?
I got a bone to pick with you.
Pick it.
You know, at the end of this year, we're going to be running out of Everyone Loves the Bad Guys, and, you know, it's Metal Hammer of Doom Sundays, and eventually I'm going to run out of, like, alternative commentaries that didn't make the feed the first time, and, you know, stuff that, like, we little did-jads, like the Captain America and the Avengers commentary that we did for the video game, because why should it goes well? Eventually, I'm going to need Saturday content. Just saying.
Okay.
Where be my syndicated source material, yo?
You need that coming back, huh?
Yeah.
You need it?
If you start working on it now, you'll have plenty in the can for me when I need it at the end of the year. I'm just saying.
What's beautiful is that a lot of those, I mean, probably about by episode 50, I'm getting my editing chops under me.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear you, man. I mean, that could happen. That maybe we can put that on the agenda.
I'm just saying.
Need it? Have content.
Where the syndicated source material at, yo?
I hear you. Well, listen, Source Material Comics podcast, and we also do...
Look, I need to hear me, you, and Ronnie talk about polyamory via the Flintstones comic book, okay? I need to hear when Ronnie and I got into a slack-jawed sissy slap fight over alternative relationships in the Flintstones comic book by Mark Russell.
He's writing something recently I've been wanting to read, too.
Yeah, I think I pitched like later in the year a Mark Russell book to you.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Good.
I need to hear it. Where's my fucking Flintstone syndicated source material, Jesse?
One of these days.
Another awkward guitar change, Marshall. Wait.
That was
that was a different podcast.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
I just re-listened to that.
Clutch live stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was great. Yes, you will.
You can call me an asshole whenever you want, Jesse.
No, I'm writing you a strongly worded text right now.
In Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, do me a favor. I'm going right over there right now. Can you please?
Jesse's been feeding this entire podcast, all of my audio, into Chat GPT, and Chat GPT is writing back a strongly worded rebuttal that starts with "dear fuckface."
No idea how much I've almost wanted to do that. Actually, dude, the next time that we have the Metal Hammer of Doom, we need to also throw in the lyrics for one album. Doesn't have to be the next one.
Dude, throw in the lyrics to Body Counts in the House.
We need to throw all those lyrics in and say, come up with like, I'd love for them to come up with a song, but I don't know if ChatGPT can do that. But I would at least give us a haiku.
Body Counts in the House. Body Count. Anyway, you asked me to stop being a bag of dicks and plug my stupid podcast. So here it goes.
When addressing the issue of passive aggressiveness with your friend Mark regarding his podcast, it's important to approach the conversation with empathy and understanding. Here's a suggestion for what you could say. Hey, Mark, I wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my mind. I've noticed that you've been feeling a bit frustrated or passive aggressive about producing content for your podcast. And I wanted to understand what's been going on. I care about your podcast and I want to support you in any way that I can. So I thought it would be helpful to have an open conversation about it. Listen to Mark's response and allow him to express his feelings and concerns. Then you can continue with a supportive and encouraging approach. I understand that creating content for a podcast can be challenging and time-consuming. Is there anything specific that has been bothering you or causing this frustration?
Oh, one or two things, Jesse Starcher. One or two things.
Maybe we can brainstorm some solutions together or find ways to make the process more enjoyable for you.
Yeah, I can't afford it, unfortunately.
It's essential to find a balance between your passion for the podcast and your overall well-being. Additionally, you can
hilarious.
Ain't done. Additionally, you can offer your assistance. If you ever need help with brainstorming ideas, researching topics, or any other aspect of content production, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Mark. I genuinely believe in your podcast's potential and want to see it thrive. Remember to remain understanding and supportive throughout the conversation, as it can take time for someone to open up about their frustrations. By approaching the situation with empathy, you increase the chances of finding a resolution that benefits both Mark and his podcast. Fuck yes. Oh, that was great.
That needs to be its own thing.
Oh, shit. I need to copy and paste that in the chat right now.
Yes, please.
Here it comes.
That's fucking great, dude. By the way, zing, you win. I give up now.
Oh, shit. All right.
What was the prompt? What did you type in the chat GPT?
So I put in, I said, what should I say to my friend Mark to stop being passive aggressive about producing content for his podcast?
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I'm fucking crying. That's hilarious. Oh.
I mean, it's not quite us talking Mardi Gras Indian at each other.
No, it's not. No.
That nearly broke the podcast.
Yes, it did.